Yeah, I know now it stands for Chick Magnet, but before I thought it stood for Hello there, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and welcome to 10 wrestling facts we didn't know last week, where I fill you in on a load of stuff we didn't have a bloody clue about 7 days ago from the world of wrestling. This week, find out Kane's major regret, why we have Rusev Day, and the Big Show's biggest ever embarrassment. So, wrestling fans, yes, even those of you in Chile, let's get this show started and get those views up to a milli. Number 10. Stephanie McMahon apologised for needing a blueberry muffin. Jason Allen worked as a writer's assistant on Raw in 2008 for just 6 months. But even in that brief time period, he told the Wade Keller Pro Wrestling podcast that Dusty Rhodes ribbed him for forgetting to shake his hand, and JBL took his photo because he'd be gone next month. What a nice man. Don't be a bully, be a star. But both of those stories pale in comparison to his first run-in with a heavily pregnant Stephanie McMahon. He introduced himself, she smiled, and then apologised and asked if he'd get her a blueberry muffin. Seriously, that was one of the guy's first ever tasks as a WWE writing assistant. Although, considering what Steph's done to most of the blokes on Raw, he got off lightly. Number 9. Steve Austin chewed the Big Bossman out backstage. Bruce Pritchard recently detailed on his Something to Wrestle With podcast how the Big Bossman missed a run-in at the 1998 Survivor Series and how Gerald Briscoe had to fill in for him. Afterwards, when Austin found the guilty party enjoying some backstage banter with The Undertaker, he was pissed and admitted it was the loudest cuss job he'd probably given anyone in his entire career. Think about that. Think of all the worst words you can possibly say to anyone, picture Stone Cold saying it, and then turn the volume up to 11. I need to lie down. Number 8. Billy Gunn's son had to defend his dad's WWE gimmick. Last week, we revealed how some of Billy Gunn's friends told him they knew he was gay during the whole Billy and Chuck thing. The impact that angle had on Billy Gunn's friends was one thing, but Gunn's son Austin has revealed he was briefly bullied at school because of it too. I feel you, bro. During an interview with WSVN-TV, Austin remembered he had to defend what was going on WWE television by pointing out that A, he had a mother, and B, the character his dad was playing on SmackDown wasn't real life. But he's still an ass man, right? Right? Number 7. CM Punk wanted out of the octagon ASAP during his first fight. The quicker I start, the quicker it's over. No comment section, not the words of my fiancé in the bedroom, thank you very much. Those were CM Punk's words to MMA Junkie when analysing his first UFC fight with Mickey Gall in 2016. He believed getting stuck straight into Gall without first getting his bearings in the octagon would serve him well. It didn't. Number 6. WCW's Roadblock jumped the barrier as a fan. What a blast from the past. You know, the guy who would literally carry a roadblock to the ring so you'd know who he was. Anyway, Roadblock's run was short-lived, but it nearly never happened at all. He had to literally force himself into pro wrestling. According to Jim Cornette, he actually jumped the barrier during a one-man gang Hulk Hogan match and attacked the heel in order to impress Hogan and show him how tough he was. And it worked! As ill-advised as it was for a fan to physically attack someone, especially back then, Roadblock managed to squeeze his way into the business just by getting his name out there. But seriously, kids, don't try this. I made a whole video on this about people who jump the barrier, and it doesn't work out like that normally. It's less get a job in the business and more get a trip to the hospital. Number 5. Kane blames himself for Isaac Yankem's failure. If only Knox County mayoral candidate Glen Jacobs had stayed as Jerry Lawler's evil dentist rather than becoming Kane. It's a sentence that literally no one has ever said. Nevertheless, Jacob said on Lawler's podcast that he blames himself for Yankem failing to catch on with the fans because he didn't try too hard when playing him. you can hardly blame him. His comments on the podcast almost make it sound like Yankum's failure was a surprise. He was an evil dentist. This was 1995. It was a real low point for creativity. Sparky plug, anyone? Number 4. Rusevs' name comes from a friend in rowing class. During an interview with TV+, Rusev revealed his ring name wasn't a WWE choice. Of course not. They came up with the Red Rooster. Instead, it was inspired by a friend he attended rowing classes with in his youth. A gentleman by the name of Vassal Rusev is the one to thank for all those t-shirt sales and Aiden English songs, and Ruru only picked that name because he just liked the sound of it. Oh, by the way, happy Rusev Day! Number 3. Colonel Robert Parker advised Steve Austin against leaving WCW. We all know about Austin being fired by Eric Bischoff for being unmarketable. But according to Colonel Parker, who managed Austin, the wrestler wanted out of the company before then anyway. Whilst chatting to Wrestling Epicenter for a new interview, Parker revealed he told Austin there were no guarantees elsewhere and he was making good money in WCW. But anyway, Austin left, and against Parker's wishes that he didn't burn any bridges, he cut scathing promos on WCW and Eric Bischoff whilst in ECW. Then he went to the WWF and did pretty well for himself. Number 2. Fans still tell Big Show how much they loved his dad. Older wrestling fans may remember that WCW presented the Big Show as Andre the Giant's son during his first few months with the company. I mean, who could forget that epic monster truck battle? Well, this is something Show is still embarrassed about to this day. No, surprisingly, not the monster trucks. He cringes every time someone comes up to him with memories of his father. On Steve Austin's podcast, Show admitted that occasionally people approach him with stories about how much Andre meant to them as children. Oof, awkward. The whole being Andre's son thing was Hogan's idea, because of course it was. Show just went along with it because he was relatively new to the biz, and it still haunts him to this day. Just like how this image of Big Show in a nappy will haunt you tonight. Number 1. It took Muhammad Hassan 13 years to get over his WWE release. Remember Muhammad Hassan? The guy who definitely wasn't a terrorist, just enjoyed hanging around with masked men who would attack The Undertaker for him. Well, he returned to the ring on the 28th of April for his first in-ring appearance in 13 years. And there is one simple reason why it took that long. It took him that long to get over his WWE release. Discussing his comeback with Pro Wrestling Sheet, the former WWE heel said he couldn't cope with the backlash his controversial character received, or the fact WWE put him on the scrap heap in 2005. For obvious reasons. Regardless, he is determined to make up for lost time and is even interested in a one-off WWE appearance. Yeah, I wouldn't count on that, mate. Unless Hogan, come back! So there you have it, you are up to date and you can take these facts and show them off to your mates to make them look stupid. We all do it, I know I do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And you can read the article this series is based on. It's written by my boy Jamie Kennedy and it's up on whatculture.com now. Thanks for watching, I've been Adam from What Culture, now go away.